In business industries, especially in such competitive landscapes, building strong brands is key for not only survival but most importantly success for the business. With such successful, widely known brands across the globe, the marketers in us tends to seek for answers in how to create and succeed in branding. Good day everyone, my name is Christine Andrea OSABEL, here to tackle building strong brands. What is a brand? To marketing professionals, a brand is a distinct identity in the perception of consumers. The brand is created through elements of the totality of the business, which covers products, marketing strategies, organizational culture, values, and the overall mission of the business. With this, we could say that a brand is what makes a business different amongst the competition while also adding value and creating demand for the business. How does branding work? Branding is the creation of an identity for the business which distinguishes itself in the business landscape, which, in the best scenario, places the business above the competition in the minds of the consumers. Branding is about satisfying the consumers while creating a relationship towards the consumers and the business. Like any business aspect, branding needs to be well planned, well structured, well managed, and efficiently promoted. How does branding work? It works because with a proper vision and execution, branding bridges the gaps between perception and reality, messaging and experience, and business strategy and execution. Perception and reality. Branding allows what consumers think about the brand to be in its real form. Without branding, a business doesn't have a distinct identity and just merely operates on identity guesses rather than the reality of its identity totality. Messaging and experience. Branding allows the fulfillment of the messaging done by the business. Through branding, a business is able to do actions in achieving their brand promise. Business strategy and execution. Branding allows the strategizing process of the business to be in coherence to the overall goal and identity of the business. It helps the business execute plans that would not only achieve but strengthen the brand projection and image of the business. The purpose of branding. Branding has three basic main goals: influencing what people associate with the business and how they feel about it, to create a distinct identity in your industry, and to build loyalty over time. Branding isn't responsible in controlling what people feel, but it could definitely influence it. Understanding how the market perceives your brand and how they might feel is key to truly increase value in the eyes of the target market. Now, branding allows the business to strategize effectively and ensure that the overall operations of the business is cohesive to the brand's values. Creating a distinct identity is a huge responsibility of branding. With branding, a business is able to position and leverage themselves in the business landscape. Branding is a means to make the market more aware of the business, increasing value, and just overall creating demand for the business. It is undeniable how people prefer specific businesses over time, even when the competition offers the same products. Now, this is of course due to branding. Some people grow more inclined to a specific brand due to loyalty, which is weighed on good and effective branding. The role of brands. In the organization, the brands are expected to increase brand recognition, which is how well your market and consumers recall the business brand. This indicates how well does your target market differentiate you from competition. Improving customer loyalty, which is a natural result of a continuously and consistently positive emotional experience, satisfaction, and having a strong perceived brand value. Positive marketing, which really dribbles down to free word-of-mouth marketing. Strong brands with effective word-of-mouth advertising produce high-quality products that back up any promises they claim, leading to solidifying the credibility of the brand. Advertising effectiveness. When your brand is well established and the products are reliable, new product releases and promotions will make a strong impact on your customers and consumers. Lower price sensitivity, which describes how heavily the cost of your product weighs on your target market's willingness to buy it. The less it weighs on their decision, the better. It means that they like your brand well enough to give less weight to the price. More talent wanting to work with the brand. Everyone wants to have strong, interesting brands in their curriculum vitae. And with a larger applicant pool, generally comes a larger selection of candidates that are suited for the company. Engage employees who are proud to work at your company. Happy employees prove to be more engaged, and engaged employees stay at companies longer and are more productive. To consumers, brands provide peace of mind because if the brands they are consistently using deliver a positive experience, consumers form an opinion that the brand is trustworthy, which gives them peace of mind when buying. Brands save decision-making time because already having a brand in mind reduces choosing between a clutter of brands, making it easier to find what the consumers are looking for. Brands create difference because branding helps define what makes your product different and more desirable than comparable products. Brands provide safety because knowing a brand means minimizing risk of disappointment. Brand adds value. Successfully branded products make more money for their companies by commanding premium prices. Brand allows consumers to express themselves. Brands are used to make statements about who they are and who they want to be. People become emotionally attached to the brands they use and view them as part of their self-image. Brands give consumers a reason to share. Consumers all have opinions about the things they experience and they like to share them with others. Strong brands give consumers a reason to share their experiences. Moving on to brand equity and brand value. Brand equity is a collection of assets and liabilities. It is a key construct in the management of not only the marketing department, but the overall business strategy. Brand value is a cumulative result of sales volume, equity, audience size, and the brand's market potential. It refers to the financial worth of the brand. Both brand equity and brand value are educated estimates of how much a brand is worth. Brand equity induces an increase in brand value, and the higher brand value allows more resources to improve brand equity. They work hand in hand in strengthening the brand and achieving success for the brand. Designing the brand. Brand design is the process of actively creating a brand's identity and should convey who, what, and why a brand is. To create an identity that refuses to be ignored, you need a strategic, intentional brand design. In designing a brand, it is important to consider brand mantra, brand elements, brand characters, and secondary associations. A brand mantra is designed to capture and convey the meaning and values of the brand. It is a message that captures the brand's vision and mission. Brand elements are essential in developing and designing a brand because it ensures cohesiveness in all the aspects of the brand. It is very important for the brand to stand for something that is unique and consistent in nature, which really brings the need to define a set of brand characteristics working as one in the integral facets of the entire brand designing process. secondary associations, when done well, elevates the brand more. Having another entity or organization associated with the brand that also captures the identity of the brand is a win-win for both entities. Brand hierarchy. Brand hierarchy is an organizational brand strategy to provide structure to a portfolio of brands. Now, brand hierarchy is essential for brands to build a consistent brand image and brand identity within the market. It is a type of organizational structure that helps us understand how different aspects of our business fit together. The brand hierarchy levels consist of the corporate or master brand, which is the overarching parent brand, which represents the overall brand of a company. An example of this is Coca-Cola or Amazon. The family brand level is next, which represents a group of brands under a common parent brand, which is similar to the brand Virgin Cola, which has several sub-brands. Next is the individual brand, which represents an independent brand. Although individual brands may be a part of a larger portfolio, they operate independently. On the last level is the product brand, which represents a specific product or service within an individual brand, kind of like Apple's iPhone or Apple's MacBook. Brand crisis. A brand crisis is a negative event or situation that threatens the reputation, trust, and loyalty of your customers and stakeholders. It can damage your brand image, sales, and market share, and expose you to legal, regulatory, and ethical risks. Rather than hiding away until the crisis is over, aim for a prompt, informative response. First, assess the situation. You need to gather a full picture of the brand crisis. Understand what actually happened and how the press and general public are interpreting it. Second is assign duties and communicate. As soon as you have an idea of what has happened, you need to brief any public-facing employees. You have to let them know what has happened, the steps you will take to deal with the crisis, and how to respond to any initial questions from the press and public while you're drafting your official response. Third is understanding your audience. Think about who the crisis is going to impact and what it is that they'll be concerned about. Fourth is deciding how to respond. Based on how the crisis is likely to affect your stakeholders and knowing what the most common concerns of the public are, decide what the best medium of response is. When drafting your crisis statement, make sure that you are transparent and take responsibility if you have been at fault. Fifth is getting your message heard. Reactively responding to the crisis and engaging in different platforms in spreading your response to the crisis is the good way to go. Sixth is measuring the impact of your statements as you go. Media monitoring enables us to track how people are responding and how sentiment is shifting. Seventh is knowing when to stop. The amount of time it takes to do so varies from crisis to crisis. Now, when PR and social media mentions begin to dramatically drop, it is time for you to stop reminding everyone of what happened and to start to rebuild value. Lastly is prevention. Maybe you can avoid the same thing happening again. Learn from your mistakes and use your experience to handle future crises better. Luxury branding. Luxury branding is a business strategy that focuses on creating a perceived difference between a luxury product and its competitors. Now, it is all about creating a sense of exclusivity and luxury for a product or service. Now, luxury branding is the process of associating a product with high-end status symbols to make it more attractive to consumers. There are 7 basic steps in building luxury brands. Now, first is find your unique niche. It starts with a simple question, which is, what do you offer that is unique and different even from your closest competition? Second, understand current audience perception. This is taking the question to your audience and understand their perception. Third is luxury branding storytelling. Now, storytelling is an essential part of luxury branding strategy. It is how you communicate your value in a way that your audience actually pays attention. Fourth, emphasizing your product's symbolic value. Now, this is the part that connects directly to your audience's self-esteem. Understand your brand's current symbolic value, which goes beyond tangibles and into feelings. Then, devise a strategy designed to enhance the specific symbol attributes that make your brand stand apart. Next is build on your audience's sense of exclusivity. Now, among your main goals should be building on the fact that when your customers look for a product like yours, they want to feel exclusive and special. Now, we all know that perceptions of value are often intrinsically tied to perceptions of exclusivity. Sixth is promise much, deliver more. Luxury brands do not have the luxury to under-deliver. Now, high promises are an essential part of the core messaging strategy. Lastly, luxury branding strategy has to include one crucial element: time. Now, you have to stay consistent, turning your brand into the core identity of your business and brand for the foreseeable future. Moving on to brand positioning. Brand positioning refers to the unique value that a brand presents to its customer. It is a marketing strategy brands create to establish their brand identity while conveying their value proposition, which is the reason why a customer would prefer their brand over others. The brand positioning process. So first is understand how your brand is currently positioning itself. Determine your unique value proposition. Identify your competitors and their positioning. Create your positioning statement. Evaluate and test whether your positioning works. And reinforce your brand's differentiating qualities. Brands should address who their customer is and their value proposition within their brand positioning statement to maintain relevancy while being realistic. The bullseye framework. Communicating with customers and understanding their requirements is often termed targeting. Now, understanding the targeting process will help you identify how companies plan their communication strategies, which is where the bullseye framework comes in. The bullseye framework lists all marketing channels and categorizes them into 3 categories. The first category is what's possible. This is the phase where you have to brainstorm and list all the possible marketing channel strategies for promoting any product in the market. The idea is to have a comprehensive list of all the marketing channels. Next is what's probable. This phase is more about experimenting and developing strategies for each channel mentioned in the first category. Now, the strategies developed in this phase are then put to the test to understand how effective they are in delivering the message of the particular product or brand. Last is what's working. Now, this phase denotes by the innermost ring and is often known as the bullseye, as it helps to develop your plan of action for promotions. The third phase enables you to identify the marketing strategies that have actually worked in the second phase and then zero down on these strategies as a final communication plan. Now, the bullseye framework overall maximizes the effort in communication, promotion, and any sort of marketing, especially in developing a brand. Allow me to end my report with a quote from Jeff Bezos. A brand for a company is like a reputation for a person. You earn reputation by trying to do hard things well. Thank you for listening. Once again, my name is Christine Andrea OSABEL. Have a good day.